Rachel Westwood, 24, stood in the bridal suite of her childhood home, surrounded by ribbons, lace, and the scent of fresh peonies. The delicate rustling of tissue paper and the rhythmic hum of a sewing machine filled the room as her mother hemmed the final touches on her veil. Rachel gazed at her reflection. Her golden curls cascaded over her shoulders in thick, spiraling waves, the envy of every stylist she'd ever met. She'd always been known for her hair. It was the first thing people commented on. It framed her soft cheekbones perfectly, and Jonathan, her fiancé, often said it was the reason he first noticed her. He used to run his fingers through it, playing with the curls while they watched movies. He'd once joked, "If you ever cut your hair short, I might need to reconsider the whole wedding." She had laughed then, but the words stuck quietly, oddly. It had been a whirlwind year since Jonathan proposed, an extravagant affair at a vineyard under the stars. He'd gotten down on one knee beside the fountain, music playing, their friends cheering. She'd cried as she said yes, feeling like the luckiest woman alive. But as the wedding neared, something changed. At first, it was subtle. Jonathan worked in commercial real estate, and he had always been busy, but now he was gone more than usual. Long hours, late nights, last-minute business trips. She tried not to question it. "Just pushing through this project," he'd text. "Clients from out of town. I'll call you later." "I miss you, babe. This deal is everything." Rachel believed him. Why wouldn't she? Her days were filled with wedding plans, cake tastings, fittings, spa appointments, flower arrangements. She kept herself busy and hopeful. After all, wasn't this what most brides felt? Anxiety, emotional distance as the pressure mounted. Her friends were envious of the upcoming wedding. "It's going to be the wedding of the year," Claire had said during the bridal brunch. "You're glowing, Rach." But Rachel wasn't glowing. Not really. Something was wrong. Deep down, she felt it. Jonathan began avoiding discussions about the ceremony. He didn't show up to the dance rehearsal. He canceled his tuxedo fitting twice. Once, she caught him flustered, closing a text too quickly when she walked in. Still, she pushed the doubts away. Until that Tuesday. 3 days before the wedding, Rachel was driving home from the florist, her car filled with the scent of roses and eucalyptus. She had just confirmed the final delivery for the centerpieces and was feeling, for once, satisfied. Maybe everything was just nerves. Maybe he really was just busy. But as she pulled into their neighborhood, something caught her eye. Jonathan's car was parked in Madison's driveway. Again. Madison lived 2 doors down. Mid-30s, attractive in a calculated way, always jogging at the same time as Jonathan. Rachel had noticed it before. Madison had even flirted once, at a block party, but Rachel dismissed it. Jonathan wouldn't cheat. Except now, her fiancé's car was parked outside Madison's house at 3:15 p.m. on a Tuesday, when he claimed to be in a meeting downtown. Something primal made Rachel turn the engine off and walk. She moved quietly across the lawn, her heart thudding. As she stepped onto the side path that led to Madison's front window, she told herself to stop. She didn't. Through the sheer white curtains, she saw them. Jonathan, shirtless. Madison straddled on his lap, laughing, fingers tracing his chest. Rachel didn't cry. Not at first. She simply stood there, paralyzed, the betrayal seeping into her bones. Her breath shortened, her vision tunneled. She backed away slowly, nearly stumbling into a bush. She drove straight home, locked the door, and fell to the floor. The sobs were violent, raw. Rachel curled into herself on the living room carpet, her long curls tangled against her cheeks as she gasped for air. Her entire body ached, not just with sadness, but with humiliation, rage, grief. Everything they had built, 3 years together, was fake. The wedding was in 3 days. Her dress was pressed, the venue was booked, the vendors were paid, and she had been made a fool. By morning, her eyes were swollen, lips chapped from crying. She lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, numb. Claire arrived uninvited with 2 lattes and a bag of pastries. Rachel couldn't speak. She simply opened the door, stepped back, and sat down. Claire joined her on the couch and waited. Finally, Rachel whispered, "I saw him. with Madison on her couch, half naked. Claire's jaw clenched. What? I watched them, laughing, touching. He said he was in a meeting. He lied. Claire didn't say, "Are you sure?" She didn't say, "Talk to him." She just sat there, tears welling in her own eyes. That bastard. Rachel buried her face in her hands. I feel disgusting, like I was living in someone else's fantasy. Claire wrapped her arms around her. You don't deserve this. Rachel pulled away. He always said he loved my hair, that I shouldn't ever cut it, that I wouldn't be me without it. Claire narrowed her eyes. That's controlling. A pause. Then Rachel's voice dropped. I'm going to shave it. Claire blinked. What? I'm going to shave my head. Completely. A few hours before the ceremony. Claire stared. Rachel, I'm still going to the venue. I want him to see me. Bald. Free. Not the perfect little bride he thought he owned. Claire slowly nodded, a grin forming. I'll get the clippers. It was the morning of what would have been her wedding day. Instead of a chapel, Rachel sat in Claire's apartment bathroom. Instead of a veil, she wore a yellow PVC barber cape. Glossy and bright, tied tightly at the back with a white neck strip. Her makeup was flawless, natural, dewy, the look she'd practiced with her stylist. She sat on a high stool, legs crossed, hands gripping the sides of the chair. The cape rustled as she shifted. Her long, luscious curls spilled over her shoulders one last time. Claire stood behind her, clippers in hand. Rachel's breathing slowed. Her chest rose and fell steadily. Do it. The clippers roared to life with a sharp buzz. Claire placed her hand gently on Rachel's crown, then lowered the clippers to the center of her scalp. With a determined motion, she pushed forward. The sound of the blades slicing through thick hair filled the room. A thick lock of blonde fell forward, tumbling into Rachel's lap and sliding down the cape's plastic sheen. Rachel closed her eyes. Another pass, then another. The curls gathered like golden vines on the cape, soft and beautiful, now lifeless. Strip by strip, her scalp emerged, white, untouched, unfamiliar. Claire worked slowly, moving over Rachel's head with reverence. Each sweep of the clippers revealed more skin, until no hair remained but soft stubble. Claire switched to a foil shaver, buzzing gently over the remaining patches. Then came the shaving cream, thick and white, spread evenly over her bare scalp. Rachel shivered as the cold foam touched her skin. Claire took a straight razor and began the final step. Each stroke scraped away foam and stubble, leaving gleaming, smooth skin behind. She wiped the blade, continued. The bathroom was silent except for the sound of the razor and Rachel's calm breathing. Finally, Claire wiped her head clean with a warm towel. Rachel looked in the mirror. Her reflection stunned her. A sleek, powerful woman stared back. Bare head, shimmering cheekbones, defiant blue eyes. She ran her hand over her scalp. Silky, strong, free. Claire whispered, You're magnificent. Rachel stood, the cape sliding off with a dramatic rustle, curls tumbling to the floor. I'm ready. Great. Here's the continuation with Chapters 6 and 7. Expanded in detail to continue Rachel's powerful journey. The sun was high over the garden chapel, casting long shadows across the aisle lined with white peonies and pale blue ribbons. Guests murmured in anticipation, fanning themselves with printed programs. The quartet played a soft, elegant melody as bridesmaids flitted nervously in soft lavender gowns. Everyone was waiting for the bride. Jonathan stood at the altar, his black tux pristine, hair gelled to perfection. His expression, however, was clouded. He'd barely slept. Madison hadn't answered his calls since yesterday, probably scared someone had found out. His phone buzzed in his pocket, but he ignored it. His eyes searched the crowd, then the back entrance. The coordinator gave him a thumbs up. And then, the music shifted. A hush fell over the crowd. Heads turned. From the path between the rose hedges, Rachel emerged. Not in tears, not in shame, but in full command. She wore her wedding gown, a silken, off-the-shoulder masterpiece that hugged her waist and flowed into a train that kissed the grass behind her. But that wasn't what made the guests gasp. Her head was completely bald. A smooth, glowing crown framed her angular cheekbones and fierce blue eyes. Her makeup was clean, luminous. She looked regal, intimidating, unshakable. Claire walked beside her, holding the bouquet. The moment was silent, breathless. Jonathan's jaw dropped. He blinked twice, genuinely unsure what he was seeing. He whispered to the officiant, "What the hell is this?" A wave of whispers rippled through the crowd. She shaved her head. She still looks incredible. Is this some kind of joke? She looks like a goddess. Rachel walked slowly, deliberately, her heels tapping softly on the cobblestones. She stopped just short of the altar. Jonathan stared at her bald head, eyes wide with fury. "What did you do?" Rachel tilted her chin. "I removed what you loved most, and I've never felt more beautiful." Jonathan took a step forward, his voice low. "You're embarrassing yourself. You look insane." "No," she said, calm and controlled. "You cheated on your fiancé days, before your wedding, with the woman who lives 2 doors down." "That's insane." Gasps echoed through the crowd. Jonathan froze. His face turned pale, then red. "What are you talking about?" "I saw you, Tuesday afternoon, through Madison's window." The officiant lowered his binder. A groomsman muttered, "Shit." Rachel turned to face the crowd. "Jonathan has been lying to me, lying to all of you, and I refuse to marry a man who betrays me and expects me to smile about it." She let the silence hang. Marriage is a promise, and this man broke it before we ever got to the altar. Jonathan tried to recover. "Rachel, this is between us. Don't do this in front of everyone." "Oh no," she said sharply. "You don't get to hide now. You chose this. You chose her." Madison, seated near the back, sank deeper into her chair. A few people turned toward her, eyebrows raised. A few started whispering. She tried to stand and quietly leave, but someone in the second row stopped her. "Maybe stick around. See what happens next." Jonathan's facade cracked. "You're acting crazy. You shaved your head like some kind of statement." Rachel's voice cut through him. "No, I shaved it because I was done performing. Done pretending to be your perfect bride. You loved my hair. You used to tell me I was nothing without it. So I proved you wrong." She turned slowly, letting everyone take in her gleaming bald scalp. "I'm still me. I'm stronger, clearer, and I don't need him." Claire stepped forward and handed her the bouquet. Rachel looked down at it, then at Jonathan. She held it out and dropped it at his feet. The bouquet fell with a soft thump on the altar floor. Then she walked away. Every eye followed her. Guests stood as she passed. Some clapped. Some cried. A few even cheered softly. One bridesmaid followed her out. Jonathan stood in silence, fists clenched, humiliated and exposed. Claire gave him one final look of disgust. "You never deserved her." "Absolutely. Let's continue." Here's the next extended chapter in Rachel's story. By the time Rachel and Claire got back to the car, the air was thick with adrenaline. They didn't speak at first. The chapel was far behind them, but its echo clung to Rachel's skin. The gasps, the stares, the weight of truth crashing down like a chandelier. She sat in the passenger seat, hands resting calmly on her smooth scalp. Claire, still in her lavender bridesmaid dress, glanced at her sideways. "You okay?" Rachel nodded. "I think I am." Then she started laughing. Big, uncontrollable laughter that came from deep in her chest. It surprised them both. Claire joined in. Nervous, relieved laughter. "I can't believe you actually did it," Claire said, wheezing. "I can't believe he looked like someone had slapped him with a bouquet." They laughed again. Claire turned the key in the ignition. "You want champagne?" "God, yes." They drove straight to Claire's apartment where the remnants of the morning's headshave still sat in the bathroom. The clippers, the brush, and the thick golden curls now tucked into a paper bag. "Want to keep them?" Claire asked. Rachel ran her hand over her head and shook it. "No, That part of me is gone. She sat on the couch while Claire poured champagne into mismatched glasses. They toasted, then slumped against the cushions in silence. Claire pulled out her phone. You should see what's already online. Rachel blinked. What? Claire turned the screen toward her. Bald Bride was trending. Someone had recorded a video from their seat at the ceremony. Rachel's entire walk down the aisle, her bald, regal poise, her confrontation, the dropped bouquet, and the walkout, was now live with over 700,000 views. Thousands of comments scrolled beneath the post. I've never seen anything this powerful. Bald, beautiful, and brave. That man didn't deserve her hair, let alone her heart. We need a bald bride Barbie right now. This is what feminism looks like. Wow. Claire scrolled through other reposts. TikToks, Twitter clips, Facebook tags. People were stitching her video with commentary, tears in their eyes. To the woman who walked away bald and beautiful, I salute you. This was the most empowering thing I've ever seen. Hair doesn't define you. Courage does. Rachel sat, glass frozen in her hand. She hadn't expected the world to notice. She just wanted Jonathan to see her. Really see her. For once, but now? The world saw her. In the hours and days following the wedding, Rachel's phone was overwhelmed. Hundreds of messages flooded in, some from people she hadn't spoken to in years, others from complete strangers. Is it really true? You're my hero. You inspired me to leave my toxic boyfriend today. I just shaved my own head because of you. News outlets started reaching out. Bridal blogs, feminist podcasts, even a popular daytime talk show host's producer emailed Claire. Rachel didn't respond. Not at